Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Honolulu Desperados. That's right, the Relocation franchise returns for its 11th season in the NFL. And to be frank, no, I'm Juice. To be Juice, we have a dynasty on our hands. Not just any dynasty, one of the most important, dominant, influential dynasties to ever step foot on a football field. With the likes of Anthony Richardson, Micah Parsons, Bijan Robinson. To now the new era of the dynasty with Jonathan Young and Lynn Lashley. And again, Bijan Robinson. This new era of Desperado football is going to be exciting. Now, I mentioned in the off-season episode of Season 10 that I wasn't sure how many more seasons we were going to get of Desperado football because, one, the new college football game comes out July 16th, which is right around the corner, literally like less than a week away maybe by the time this video comes out. So we are on the home stretch, not even the home stretch. We're on the final quarter mile until that game comes out. And then the month after, the new Madden game comes out. Now, obviously, the new Madden game doesn't have as much hype as the college football game, and rightly so, but I still want to play that game. I still want to make content on that game. So how much more of Desperado football will we get? It's hard to say. I don't know. We're definitely going to finish Season 11, but after Season 11, it's kind of up in the air because by the time Season 11 is over, because we've got obviously this episode, which is weeks 1 through 10, then we've got the next episode, which is weeks 11 through 18, and then hopefully we have playoff episode, and then we have an off-season episode, so that's already 4 episodes of Season 11. I mean, it's 3 to 4 max, or 3 to 4 is the limit because I don't know if we're going to make I'm assuming we're going to make the playoffs, but you never know. So we have at least 3 to 4 episodes in Season 11, and then by the time those 3 to 4 episodes come out, college football is probably already going to be out. So who knows what's going to happen once that. I'm still going to release some Madden videos here and there while the college football game is still in its infancy, but the majority of the content will be College Football 25, just know that. But I will still sprinkle in some, either like a rebuild here and there, or a Desperado video, or whatever it may be. So we'll still get a little bit of Madden 24 content, but not as much as it has been, obviously, because it's the only game that we've been playing, except for NCAA 13. So I don't know. I don't know how much. The short answer basically is I don't know how much more Desperado football. It could just be 11. That's it. Season 11 is the last season. That's very possible. But we'll have to wait and see. All I know now is we've got to make sure that this team does not disappoint us, since we did lose Devontae Smith last episode in the offseason. We said goodbye to him, not because we didn't want him back, but because, one, we didn't have enough money to bring him back, and two, it was kind of his time. He's been here for 10 years. He was here at the very beginning, and he won all the championships along with us. He's been a loyal player. His jersey will be in the Ring of Honor, in the Desperado Ring of Honor, along with Micah Parsons and Anthony Richardson and Bijan, and probably Jalen Waddle too. So, and maybe even at this point, Pat Freiermuth. I mean, he's done enough to probably get up there too. So he's done a lot of stuff, but he's probably going to retire pretty soon. And so I was like, you know what? It's not worth restructuring contracts to bring him back. So we let him go. I think he signed with the Giants. I'm pretty sure he signed with the New York Giants. So we'll see how his career turns out, the end of his career turns out with the Giants. Maybe I think he signed like a 2-year deal there or something, maybe a 3-year deal. Maybe he stays there the whole time. Maybe he gets traded. Maybe he retires. Who knows? But we'll keep an eye on Devontae Smith. We'll also keep an eye on Micah Parsons, who we unfortunately don't have a choice but to keep an eye on because he's in division with the LA Rams. Yeah, so that is a problem. But we played him 3 times last year, I think, right? The 2 in the regular season and then once in the playoffs. We beat him twice because we won the playoff game. So we'll see what he does. I think he only signed a 2-year. Did he sign a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal? I can't remember. I think he might have signed a 2-year deal. And so this would be his final year of the deal. So maybe we could have a reunion in the offseason episode where he comes back to Honolulu to hang up the cleats. That'd be pretty awesome. I don't know what's going to happen. We got weeks 1 through 10 to go through today, so I hope you guys are excited. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Why don't you hit that subscribe button, get that subscriber-not subscriber ratio a little bit closer together. That'd make me pretty happy. So why don't you hit that subscribe button and do us all a favor, especially because you don't want to miss out on World of Juice content when it comes to college football. You're definitely going to want to see that. So if you're already subscribed now, then you're ahead of the game. You're ready to go. So weeks 1 through 10, Honolulu football, defending champs, multiple time defending champs, and just with the best team in the NFL. Let's go see how this season shakes out. We are in the year of our Lord, 2033. It's been a long road, 11 seasons to get to where we are right now. This is season number 11. Here we go. This is the team. It looks very similar to what it has been the past couple of seasons, but now Lynn Lashley becomes that number 1 guy. He becomes that number 1 target on the team. Finally, he's been the number 2 for like 3 or 4 seasons now. Clayton Mahan, who has just ascended himself to the top of the ranks. He's been a great player since getting drafted here. He's number 2 now. Then we have Britton, we have McClellan, we have Dixon, and then we have the rookie that we took in the draft this past year, Aaron Tuck, who I'm kind of excited about. He doesn't really do anything that well, but he's got a development trait, and he's decently fast, and he's got really good catching. So he's not like specific to doing one thing really, really amazingly, but he's 6'2", he's a physical archetype, and he can catch the football decently well. So I'm excited to have him and see how he maybe turns out. Maybe he becomes one of the better receivers on the team. Who knows? I'm sure that development trait will definitely help him out, but we'll see what happens. And I'm excited to see if Mr. Britton can finally take that step, because he's just been kind of middling around the high 70s, the mid to high 70s, since getting drafted here, because he's had people ahead of him. He's had Lynn Lashley ahead of him forever, and then he had Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith ahead of him, and now he's got Clayton Mahan ahead of him. So he's got it's never been his moment, but maybe today or maybe this season is his moment. You never know. We've got Harrison, who's going to take over for Freiermuth, who's kind of just on the back 9 of his career at this point. He could still start, but I'd rather just get the more reps to Harrison, so that because he's going to be the future anyway, so why not just have him start right away? Obviously, we've got our franchise quarterback, Jonathan Young, who's only 26 years old and already one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, look at these accuracies. He doesn't throw the ball underneath very well. His short accuracy is kind of poor, but everything else is amazing. He's got an absolute nuke of a cannon, and he's a great player. So super excited about Jonathan Young continuing. Hopefully he can get X Factor pretty soon. And then we've got this man, Bijan. He's basically Mr. Honolulu Desperado. He's Mr. Desperado at this point. He's been here his entire career. He is the best running back in football. He proves that time in and time out. He's the best player of all time, basically. He's probably the best player in Desperado history on offense. Defense, you'd have to give that to Parsons, obviously, but definitely the best player on offense is Bijan in history. So then the offensive line's pretty good. We lost a few guys to the free agency, but offensive line's still pretty good. And then defensively, I mean, we just have stud on top of stud. I mean, and we drafted other guys like Coleman to be a backup. We still got Grant. We've got Duvall as a backup middle linebacker. So, I mean, we just got like so many talented players. Downing is amazing. Herrera is amazing. Lucas has been a stud. Ramsey's been a great player. I mean, this whole team is just unbelievably good. So I'm excited to see if we can finally pull off the one thing we haven't done. We've done a lot of things in this series so far, but the one thing we have not done yet is the perfect season. We've been close a couple of times, but we have not completed a perfect season in 10 years. That's pretty crazy. We have not gotten a perfect season yet. I don't think this is the year that we do it, but I want to do it at least once. I want to have a perfect season on the resume, and I bet that because I've said that now, we're going to lose this first game to Baltimore, and the perfect season will be wiped away right away. Nope, we do win, funny enough, but now we take on the Tennessee Titans. Mahan gets another upgrade point. Man, Clayton Mahan, might end up being better than Lynn Lashley when it's all said and done. You never know. It's highly possible. It is highly, highly possible that Clayton Mahan ends up being the better wide receiver out of the two, even though Lynn Lashley's been amazing since he got drafted here. One of my favorite picks we've ever had. We do beat the Tennessee Titans as well. Now we go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars in week number 3. Bijan gets another upgrade point. He is starting to slowly regress because, one, he's over 30 now, and I think he is over 30. He might actually be 30? I don't remember exactly what he is. How old is he? He is 31. Okay, so he is over 30 now, and running backs, when they reach that 30-year-old threshold in Madden, they start, well, in real life too, they start to regress pretty heavily, but luckily, Bijan's good enough to where he can still get upgrade points and battle against that, and he's still got X Factor, so that helps a lot too. Taking a look at negotiations, though, we have obviously no money, but we have some guys that do need to be brought back, like Eli Downing, Dwayne McCullers. This is going to be tricky. Our backup quarterback, Jonathan Richards. Bijan is right there. We've already given Bijan, that's how long we've been playing. We gave Bijan a max extension. And now that contract, we've ran through that entire contract. That's kind of crazy, actually. We went through Bijan's entire rookie deal, and then we ran through Bijan's max extension. That's how long we've been playing. There's a lot of guys on here that I don't want to lose. We're not going to lose these guys, obviously, because they have options. But there's a lot of guys on here that I just don't want to lose. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if I can restructure enough money in the contracts that are already paid out to see if we can finagle some things and get the right guys back, because there's a lot of guys that I want to bring back there. And the perfect season is over. We lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty heavily. 49-14. We get destroyed by Jacksonville. Okay, not what I expected. You know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't gone around the league and seen who's still around. I haven't done that at all. Who's still like some of the best players in the league? So Anthony Richardson is the top quarterback in the NFL. He's the only 99, but he's playing up to a 99. Obviously, our former quarterback won 2 titles with us, then went and signed. Funny enough, he signed with the Texans, but then they had C.J. Stroud, so we turned into the Browns, and then we traded him to the, I forget what we did, but we sent Anthony Richardson to the Browns so that he would technically sign with Cleveland. Because it made no sense that he would sign with the Texans. But then C.J. Stroud's next, then Brock Purdy, then our guy Jonathan Young. Love to see that. Top 4 best quarterbacks in the league. Then Trevor Lawrence, who just blew us out. He blew our back out. Mick Allen for the Broncos. Bryce Young plays in Indianapolis now. Drew Bullard from Ohio State. I remember that guy. I remember scouting him. Randy West. Jalen Hurts is in Minnesota now. I think we're playing Minnesota this week. Vinny McCullough's in Tampa Bay. Jason Carmichael is the Patriots quarterback. Jonathan Fitzsimmons, I remember him. He went to New York. Tua Tagovailoa, so he's throwing Devontae Smith the football. Tua's still in Miami. That's really rare. Out of all of these different moves, the Tua that's still in Miami one is really, really... Has he been here the whole time? Or did he leave and come back? No, he's been here the whole time. Usually, almost like 95% of the time, when you do a simulation, a deep simulation, and you get to the year where Tua's contract comes up the first time, he almost always leaves and goes somewhere else. They never really re-sign him. But it seems like this time, they did. Lamar is still in Baltimore. Nicholas Woodson is the quarterback of the Steelers. Garrett McCarron is the quarterback of the Cowboys. The backup, man, the Colts are living in great times because they've got Bryce Young, and now they've got Dennis Novak, who's also a very good quarterback. Josh Allen is in Atlanta now for some reason. Wes Landry quarterbacking the Packers. Richard Serra's in Vegas. Joe Burrow's in L.A. That's a crazy one because he lost the Super Bowl to the Rams when he was in the Super Bowl in real life, and now he goes and plays for the enemy? That's kind of crazy. Jimmy Carmichael. Does that mean that they're brothers? Because there's another Carmichael up here. Jason Carmichael. Jason and Jimmy in the NFL. Look at that. Good for them. The brothers are dominating. They're both pretty good players. Ashton Feldman is also in Atlanta, the future behind Josh Allen. Dalton Porter in New Orleans. Justin Herbert still in L.A. for the Chargers. Chuck Young, the backup quarterback to Joe Burrow. Sam Howell is still quarterbacking the Commanders and the best quarterback on the Commanders. Oh, they've struggled. You know what? They might need to trade for this guy, Dennis Novak, because the Colts obviously don't need him. They got a good Bryce Young, who's still decently young. I mean, he's like 31 or something, 30 maybe. So He's still decently young, and the Commanders have a 32-year-old Sam Howell. Marquise Cartwright is the Tennessee quarterback. Mitchell Radigan. All right, so there's some good players here. The quarterback class, or the quarterback pool, is definitely pretty good, even 10 years later. Running backs, the top running back is Neville Kelly for the Titans. Then you got Bijan, Braden Howard, who I think we played in week 1. Yeah, we played the Ravens, so Jahmyr Gibbs is still around. Kenneth Walker is still in Seattle. Any other real names rocking around here? Running backs, it's hard to have the same guys still around, and it looks like there's not too many. Devon Achan's still around, but he's a backup in L.A. Wide receivers, you got Damian Hyde. You got Jamar Chase still in Cincinnati. CD and still in Dallas. Jordan Addison and they've kept both of them around. That's pretty crazy. They kept both Addison and Jefferson around in Minnesota. Then you got George Pickens. Amon-Ra still in Detroit. Smith and Jigba still in Seattle. Puka's now in Tennessee. So a couple changes. Devontae, there we go. Zay Flowers still in Baltimore. Rashee Rice is still somehow in Kansas City. Obviously, Mahomes is long gone at this point. Kyle Pitts still the top tight end in the league. He's still in Atlanta. What other tight ends? I wouldn't think there'd be too many tight ends left. Sam Laporta plays in L.A. for the Chargers. Some crazy things. There's Dalton Kincaid still in Buffalo. Tristan Wirfs still plays for the Bucks. Aquanu still plays for the Panthers. Charles Cross still played for the Seahawks. It seems like the offensive line, at least the tackles, haven't really changed. Tyler Smith still in Dallas. Landon Dickerson moved to the Rams. Linderbaum still plays for the Ravens. Creed Humphrey moved to the Jets. There's Dom Grubbs, former Desperado center. Joe Tippmann, goes to Buffalo. Trey Smith plays in Buffalo as well. Okay, very interesting. Penei Sewell still playing for Detroit. That's pretty crazy. They've been able to keep Amon-Ra and Penei Sewell and Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. I don't know where they're getting all that money. Paris Johnson Jr. is playing in New Orleans now. Will Anderson still on the Texans. Max Crosby, for some reason, still on the Raiders and still playing. Chase Young is in Cleveland. We knew that. Who else? Greg Rousseau's playing for the Colts nowadays. Micah Parsons, we knew, is playing in L.A. Nick Bosa is in New York for the Giants, or in New Jersey, I guess. Hutchinson still on Detroit. The Lions have kept everybody, basically. They've still got Amon-Ra. They still got Jahmyr Gibbs. They still got Hutch. They still got everybody. This is crazy. The Lions are keeping all their money. I don't know how they're doing it. Jalen Carter's still in Philadelphia. Not a lot of real-life guys still around the league. Brian Bresee is here. Tui Peloto is still in L.A. for the Chargers, and one of the best outside linebackers in the league. Good for him. Drew Sanders still in Denver, and the best middle linebacker in the league. Not a lot of real-life players. Kayvon Thibodeau still in the Giants, still on the Giants' second best outside linebacker, right outside linebacker. Trayvon Walker playing for the Titans now. Corners, you got Devon Spellman, who I think either was a Desperado at one time, or I really wanted him. I can't remember exactly. Was he ever a Desperado? I guess I could check. Did you play? I feel like you played for us. No, he didn't. Why do I feel like he played for us? I don't remember. It feels like we had him on the team. Unless this is this is Houston, right? This isn't Honolulu. What's the abbreviation for Honolulu? Let me go check one of the Desperado players. Where can I go? So let me go to one of the Desperado players. Here he is, DeAndre Wilbon. What's the abbreviation? It's HNL. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was something different. That's Houston. So I thought Devon Spellman played for us, but I guess not. Sauce Gardner, definitely. He was on the original team, I think. I don't remember how long we had him, but he was definitely on our original team. Yeah, he was here for a few different seasons, but we had to let him go eventually. PS2 still playing for the Broncos. Christian Gonzalez playing for the Patriots still. McDuffie Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs. Asante Samuel Jr. still on the Chargers. So a lot of the corners are still around on the same teams. Javon Holland on the Dolphins. That's another weird one. Usually Javon Holland goes to free agency and then he just goes to another team most of the time too. Same with Tua. Then you've got Hufanga still on the Niners. So for the most part, a lot of the players are still on their original teams, even 10 years later. There's a few different shakeups. a few different players on different teams, obviously. But for the most part, a lot of those guys, especially the Lions kept a lot of their guys from those original teams at the beginning of the series. Let's keep moving on. I don't know what game we're going to jump into. I don't know how many games we're going to jump into in this episode. We get back on the win streak with a win over the Vikings, which is nice to have. And then we take on the Packers. And the Packers will beat us 14-7 in kind of a weird game. But now we've got the Texans. And you know what? I think I want to jump in and play against C.J. Stroud and the Texans. They're 3-2. We're 3-2. We'll see how we do against the Houston Texans. We should be able to get the job done. Here we go. Texans and Desperados. Actually, in Sunday Night Football. That's how big of a game this is. Two powerhouse teams. Obviously, we are the more powerhouse team because we have more championships than they do. I don't know if they've gotten one in this series. I can't remember. We'd have to go back through the archives and see if they've actually gotten one this entire 10 years that we've done it. They could have got one in the early stages. That's also possible. And they might get a victory over us because they're up 24-14. We need to start taking action here. Let's figure it out here. 4th and 4. Obviously got to go for it. Down 10 in the fourth quarter. Can Jonathan Young deliver a good ball to Clayton Mahan? Yes, he can, and he got both feet down. That was a little risky. I wasn't sure if he's going to get both feet down. He does, in fact, do it. And now it's another 4th down, but this time it is a 4th and long. 4th and 13. Who do we go to? Do we go to the veteran Lynn Lashley? The bigger body, Clayton Mahan? We have to go somewhere. Mahan up in the... Oh, my God! Clayton Mahan came down with the football! Oh, my God. Clayton Mahan came down with the football. I just threw that. That's Clayton Mahan's calling card, is going up and getting 50-50 balls. That's what he does. He did that in his rookie season in the playoffs. And now he's doing it here. We got rushed by Will Anderson Jr., just like we did right there. And I had to throw it earlier than I wanted to, and Mahan just said, no, that's my football. And he got it. Absolute insanity. And now I'm going to get sacked there because my slants didn't get open. I'm pretty sure Britton got pushed to the ground instead of breaking off his route. This time it should work. Britton for the touchdown. We're still in this game. We need a good defensive drive, though. We need a really good defensive drive. Can we get that? Yes, we can. It looks like we're going to get the ball back. Beautiful. And it's a red zone opportunity with about a minute to go. Under a minute now. Oh, that's a huge accelerated clock. Oh, my God. That was a crazy accelerated clock. Under 30 seconds now. I'm going to take off and run with Jonathan Young. Get in there, Jonathan. We don't have any timeouts. Go, 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 go. Slants. Snap the football. There we go. Step up and run again. Jonathan Young. He's in. And the Desperados have the lead under 30 seconds. Jonathan Young. The franchise. He gets in the end zone. Let's go, baby. Back-to-back scrambles with the game on the line. That's why we have Jonathan Young and we paid him that contract. Because now the Texans cannot win and the Honolulu Desperados survive against the Texans. That was a good game. That was a very, very good game. Both quarterbacks really dominant, but that crucial stop on the Texans' last drive of the game when they forced to punt, that was the biggest drive of the entire game. Big win. Thought we were going to take an L on that one, but that's a big, big win against the Texans. Puts us to 4-2. We're staying competitive with the Rams, even though they are 5-1. The Niners are 0-6 on the season. That's crazy. At one point, the Niners were our biggest threat. I think that is now quickly becoming the Rams. Because I've been on record saying that, oh, we lost by a point to the Lions. That's brutal. But I've been on record saying that the Niners were our original rivals, but then they kind of fell off a little bit, and then it became somewhat of the Seahawks. And then the Seahawks have kind of been okay, but they haven't really been that big of competition. And now, now we're taking some big losses right here. Back-to-back against the Colts now. We take a big loss. We need to get back on track with a win here because we're not going to be able to compete with the Rams if we don't. And we do. We beat the Niners. we're going to jump in for this final game of the episode, Week 10 against the Seattle Seahawks, but the Rams might have already blown us away with the division. I mean, they're 8-1. They're having a wonderful season with Joe Burrow at quarterback and Micah Parsons leading the defense. So we will see. Although I do want to check what Micah Parsons' contract is. What did he sign? Micah Parsons signed a 2-year deal, and this is his last year. Okay. Things can happen. I'm not saying he can come back because we might not have the money to do so, but there's a possibility that a reunion could be in the works for Micah Parsons. But we are going to go and try to not lose against the Seahawks so that we can stay competitive and at least compete with the Rams. Who knows if they're only going to lose one game or not next episode. That's all up in the air. But we got to at least win this game, and I think we can do it. All right. Seahawks and the Desperados in Seattle for a chance to go and get a 6th win on the season. I did forget to load in our jerseys, so we are just rocking the default away jerseys. I forgot to load that in while I was getting the game set up. But we do score a touchdown early. Harrison, the new starting tight end, gets the first touchdown of the game. But we don't get an extra point. That's weird. Usually we don't miss that. But either we didn't go if we went for 2 and didn't get it, or we just missed the extra point. That's always possible, I guess. Oh, man, and now Seattle is just destroying us. What is happening? Seattle is just like, that's like 3 straight drives where they got points off of us. We kicked the field goal, so it's 17-9, 24 oh my God, we're going to lose this game. We are going to lose this. Seattle just had a couple drives in a row where they just dominated. Scored so quickly so many times. Lynn Lashley gets the touchdown, but I don't know if that's even going to matter. We need to have another good defensive drive. There we go. We got one, but we didn't do anything with it, and now Seattle scores again. Yeah, we're going to lose this game. We're going to be 5-5 to start next episode. That is not good. Especially when we're trying to go back to the Super Bowl again. Just throw it up to Clayton Mahan. I was hoping for pass interference, to be honest with you. Clayton Mahan couldn't get there. I don't want to run a halfback screen. I didn't mean to click that. We're just going to keep running verticals until something works. And why go away from Mahan? And that's why you go away from Mahan, because I got hit on the throw, and it's an interception. And it's going to be a thick 6, too. And that's the ball game. Seattle will come and play us. I was going to say they're going to come to Desperado territory, but they don't. We went to their territory, and we got just smoked. So it seems like we are not as good as I may have predicted we would be. We get blown out by the Seattle Seahawks. They blew our back out, too. That's crazy. Not a good first start to the season. Not a good start to season 11, that is for sure. I mean, we're getting some quality upgrades, but in terms of just team morale, we're not playing very well. The Rams are killing it this year, and we're 5-5 at the halfway point. This has not been the greatest start to a season. We've had worse, obviously. We were not great in the beginning episodes, but this is kind of wild being 5-5. I certainly thought we'd be, I don't know, maybe like 7 wins, 8 wins. I thought we'd be a little bit better than what we have been. But no, we're 5-5. We have been very, very brutal. And next episode is going to be a very, very eye-opening episode. Not only for how many wins will we end up with, and will we make the playoffs even, but can we restructure enough contracts to free up enough money to bring back a lot of these big-name free agents that we have, or potential free agents that we have. So you don't want to miss next episode, because it's going to be maybe the turning point of this entire dynasty as a whole. Maybe the dynasty's over. Maybe we got to start from scratch. Who knows? Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the episode, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.